Alright, so Guardbreak max punish. Pretty simple. Forward throw, top heavy, into a top heavy, into a shove, into a light. This is a max punish, dealing the total of 80 damage. Parry, light, into unblockable. As you can see, you cannot shove it, so it's literally the same as before. It's light, into top heavy. It's parryable. Shove is not guaranteed. Not guaranteed. So literally, light, top heavy, into a light, although the light can be parried. So 20 plus 35, 18 on the sides, and or 20 on the top. So the total damage is 75 if you do the light attack on the top, and 73 if you do the attack on the sides, on the last light. Remember, the light finisher isn't guaranteed, but it's very difficult for the opponent to react to it, and especially to parry it. Normal parries are the same thing. As you can see, 40 damage if you have a wall behind the opponent and you do the impale. 20 damage if you just do this, the light. The second light is pretty much guaranteed on bad players, but as you can see, it's totally blockable. It's a total of 35 damage if the opponent doesn't react to the second light, which is very likely. You can always just go for the heavy to mix up on the opponent. If he thinks he's going to do a light, he tries to parry it. Now for the lights, you get a top unblockable into a light. Remember, every single top unblockable, every single top heavy finisher guarantees a light afterwards. So if you get a light parry punish, you not only get the unblockable, you also get a light. Before, you only had the unblockable into shove, so basically it was 45 damage from the unblockable into a shove, which could make you get either a guard break or a light or a heavy, depending on what the fuck you would do after the shove, which nothing was guaranteed. Instead of getting 45 damage, you get 50 damage, which is great. It's a slight buff, but the thing is, you cannot shove guaranteed. So now, you get this whole thing, or you can get the shove, which is not guaranteed. The opponent will be able to dodge it every time. But remember, the opponent is dazed. The opponent just got hit by an unblockable. So they'll probably, if it's a bad player, they'll probably be kind of spooked about it, I guess. So they'll be kind of panicky. So that you might actually get the unblockable into shove, which makes you get 3 more damage. It's not that great. You will get a total of 53 damage instead of 50 damage if you do the shove into light. And also, after the shove into light, you can continue chaining into an unblockable, which is better than just doing the top unblockable into light, because then you are back to neutral. If you do the shove and you actually hit it, you will then be able to chain into an unblockable, which the opponent will back dodge out of, but at least you will be able to continue chaining. Now, make way is also buffed. You get 22 damage. It's unblockable. You have hyper armor. Basically, it's how it should have been from the start. The zone is also a lot better. It's 700 milliseconds. I don't remember what it was before, but after it, you can chain instantly. So let me make my opponent be able to parry. And now let's make him parry. You can parry after this, but remember, the zone makes you recover extremely quickly. Extremely quickly. So even after a missed zone attack, you can instantly chain pretty much into any attack. Remember, the opponent can always parry the light afterwards, so you should always maybe go for a heavy just to mix up the opponent. Okay, remove the parry. So let me just recover my stamina. So he dodged, and now I'll go for a top heavy. Of course, this bot will parry everything, but I'm just showing you a little different mix-up. Now, for the shove as well, same thing. It's as it was before. So, he dodged, and now I put the parry. You can chain pretty quickly after it. So, the opponent can always parry this. Remember, it's pretty much like playing Nobushi. Either you go for the kick and then you don't do anything, and the opponent can guard break you, or you do a light and the opponent can parry you if they don't go for the Guardbreak. Now, the thing is, Lawbringer can get guard broken out of his shove because the recovery is extremely quick. It's 400 milliseconds, I believe. And the only character that can actually guard break him is Raider, but we already know Raider is kind of broken right now. It's the most safe opener you have, because very few characters can actually punish him. I believe Marco Yolo made a video on all the characters that can actually punish him. It's mostly just bash heroes, I believe. I didn't actually watch the video. If you do the shove, remember, most characters can punish you. So it's a pretty safe move to do. You can always just do the shove after a heavy. So if the opponent dodges, the shove is not guaranteed. But if they back dodge, I believe it's guaranteed unless they dodged very early. But if they back dodge, it's guaranteed. I don't know how to make the bot back dodge and not side dodge. But on a side dodge, it's not guaranteed. Don't try it against another Lawbringer, for example, because his shove is guaranteed if you dodge. Why is he doing an attack? Oh, I did light attack. I'm so retarded. Sorry, guys. But yeah, if they do a light, I also want to show that. But if they do a light, it's guaranteed for them. But the shove will hyper armor through it. But if they try to go for a guard break, the shove guaranteed. It's amazing. If the opponent tries to go for a guard break, remember, if they try to go for a guard break after they dodge your shove, it's stupid. It's never guaranteed. It doesn't make sense for them to do it. But if you know the opponent is going to try and guard break after the shove, maybe they're a bad player, the light is guaranteed. Now, let me do... how do I make him not dodge the first... Now, make him do for the chain heavy. This one, I want him to dodge. As you can see, this also works. And now for the unblockable as well. For the unblockable as well. As you can see, shove is always guaranteed. It's awesome now. He is very safe into throwing attacks, because even if the opponent dodges, you no longer get guard broken, which was a huge problem with Lawbringer before. Like, I know a lot of people saying that the rework was terrible. Bruh, it is terrible in a few ways, but seriously, he's so much stronger now. I'm telling you guys, he's much stronger. As you can see, heavy into shove is very good on miss. Like, I'm really happy with this change, because even if you miss the heavy, you won't get guard broken like you used to before. If they simply dodge, you cannot punish them. So this is the thing. If you do a heavy, they dodge, you can do a shove afterwards, but if they don't try to do anything on you, they can dodge the shove as well. But on back dodge, I don't know. I honestly don't know about back dodge. I've missed the shove on a few people because I probably delayed it and they probably dodged too soon. But if they do a back dodge, the shove is probably guaranteed because it's a 1000 millisecond recovery on the back dodge. As you can see, it worked. If I do a heavy, I can always just do a light attack to punish his guard break. The problem is, it's not safe. The opponent can parry the slide attack. If they try to guard break me after a heavy, I can just do a light. So I'll do my heavy, he'll dodge it. But he can parry the light afterwards. That's why it's not safe to do a light attack. But if I go for the shove, he can also parry the light after a missed shove. So remember, this whole thing is tricky. But just remember, after a heavy miss, the shove is pretty much safe, besides the characters that don't actually have it safe. XD. But I believe Marco Yolo has already made it, as I said before. Remember, the Impale charge ignores dodging? What the hell was that? There you go, he actually dodged it this time. What the hell? So yeah, the Impale charge is 10 damage now. It's even worse than before. Before it was 15 damage, now it's 10. If he blocks it, you're pretty much out of stamina. And if he parries it, you're out of stamina. I didn't have full stamina, sorry guys. Let me actually show you. But you saw the damage stamina right there. 210. That's way over the amount of stamina Lawbringer has. Lawbringer has like, I believe, 130 stamina at most. So, that is redonkulous stamina damage. But yeah, after it, let me show you. Dodge guard break. I forgot to show you the Impale thing. It's true story. So, if they try to dodge guard break, you can counter it. But if you do a light, for example, you can't. But remember, it's pretty much useless for you to do a light, because the light now comes from the same side as the Impale. I believe it would make a lot more sense if the light attack came from this side, from the left side instead of the top, because it's lower, it's 500 milliseconds. Therefore, the opponent has either a 50-50. Either he blocks the left or the right. You should always just keep blocking the right, and if you see he's doing a light, because the animation is so obvious, as you can see, the animation is extremely obvious, you can then just parry the light. So I believe it would make a lot more sense if the out-of-lock light came from the left side. After an out-of-lock heavy, which is kind of the mix-up you want to go for, either you do the Impale or the heavy, you can then proceed to do a light if the opponent tries to dodge. You can also lock into heavy, which can then win the Guardbreak game. As you can see, this is pretty much the mix-up you have for out of lock. You no longer have the I'm going to do the top light or I'm going to do the Impale. You can always just lock on and do a top light, but the range is very short, so you need to be in your opponent's face, so it's easy for the opponent to understand the fact that you're going to do a top light. Now when it comes to lights, if you do a light and then don't do anything afterwards, the Guardbreak is guaranteed. If you go for the top heavy, they cannot Guardbreak you. If you go for the side heavy, they cannot Guardbreak you. So you should always go for the top heavy, because not only does it do more damage, it also stuns your opponent. So the lights are pretty safe now. I believe before you would always get guard broken out of them. If the opponent dodges very early, you should always go for the top heavy, because the top heavy has the least guard break vulnerability out of all. I've had so many times been guard broken on my chain heavy, while if I did the top heavy, it wouldn't actually be guard broken. Remember, the chain top heavy, not the opener. The chain top heavy has very little guard break vulnerability. The light finisher is no longer dodgeable. As you can see, but the bot is made to dodge everything I do. He tries to dodge the light, but it can't be dodged because it's 500 more seconds now. I forgot to show you guys. That's actually a pretty cool change. And as you saw, if you do the unblockable, if he tries to go for the Guardbreak, which is very likely that the opponent will try to do a Guardbreak after the unblockable, because it has a huge recovery. With the new shove change, that you can chain into a shove even if you miss the heavy, you can do a shove that is guaranteed if they try to Guardbreak you, which makes the shove very good now, and the unblockable kind of safe. Remember, the unblockable is pretty useless because the opponent will most likely just back dodge it. The timings are pretty obvious. I'll actually show you. Before the parry flicker, you want to dodge. If your opponent tries to shove after you have back dodge, you can actually just dodge the shove as well. I can't really recreate it in there, and I wanted just to bother a friend of mine to come on the arena to show you guys. It's easier for me to just tell you. Also, if the opponent is back dodging every time you do a shove, you can always just feint into a shove. I can't force the bot to back dodge, but if the opponent is back dodging your unblockable, you can feint the unblockable into a shove, and the opponent will actually get shoved. That's pretty much the only real mix-up you have. If you try to do a feint to guard break, if your opponent is dodging on the correct timing, you cannot guard break them. So if the opponent does side dodge, he can dodge the shove, but because a lot of players want to go for the punish on the unblockable, they'll most likely try to guard break you. So always go for the shove, unless, of course, you're against an actual good player, or you're against a character that can actually punish your shove. Remember, go check out that video. So that's about it. I believe I've shown you everything. All the vulnerabilities, all the safe moves, every single thing. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm really liking the rework. The problem is there's too many raiders. I can't enjoy it successfully because there's just too many raiders. And Mordhau is out, and I'm almost finished with my Lawbringer in Mordhau. Seriously, the game is amazing, and I'm just having too much of a blast there to be playing For Honor right now, which is kind of unfun right now because there's just so many raiders, just ruining the experience to everyone. And I've hit level rep 70. Yikes, the mode is really trash, but I don't have any reason to play it anymore because I've already reached level 70 with my only character that I care about. Oh, the demo is cute. I gotta admit. All right, guys, that was the video. Oh, I don't know why it's showing my armor. Let me show my Lawbringer. Hey, let me show you the stats as well. Very nice. Never mind the brawl mode because the stats aren't totally legit on the brawl mode. The other ones it is legit though. So the brawl mode is just because I only played against bots to do the orders pretty much. But as I was saying, hope you guys enjoyed it. If there's anything I missed, literally anything, if you have any questions about the Lawbringer kit, any freaking questions, unless they're like too specific and I really can't explain it, but if you have any questions that I can actually explain on the possible vulnerabilities, possible mix-ups that you guys want to try out that you're not unsure, tell me in the comments. I have a lot of experience with the Lawbringer. I've played him since launch when he was terrible, after the first rework which made him what we had until now, and after this rework I have a lot of experience with him. If you have any questions, tell me. Any mix-ups, any possible punishers you might want to try out that you don't know if it's guaranteed, I can explain them as well. Any vulnerabilities, whatever, tell me. Hope you enjoyed this one, and I hope to see you guys on the next one. Remember, Lawbringer video coming soon-ish. It's gonna be a Martha For Honor special thing that I'm really excited to work on. See you guys.